Hello, everybody. Give me a second and I will get the chat brought up. Okay. What else do I need to do? We've got 2 in here so far. Well, hi, Miss Haley, my beautiful niece. Oh, I miss you too, sweetheart. Today we have 2 people joining us today. So it's Mr. James Lee and a special guest of ours. It's one of our good friends, Mr. John. And so today he is going to be teaching us how to build an armature for our dragon. And we'll go from there. So what we're going to be needing today is we're building 3 different types. James Lee is going to be using paper strips and Mod Podge, homemade Mod Podge to do his. John is going to be using, what was it called? Air dry clay. It's the stuff from Hobby Lobby. And I am going to be using our original Sculpey. So we're going to be using 3 different mediums today. So I have a variety of tools here. What you're going to need is, for James Lee's, you're going to need just like a newspaper, like you've got some newspaper or paper laying around. We're going to be tearing that up into strips for him. And he's also going to be using homemade Mod Podge. For John, he's going to be using, we're going to be building our armatures with, what gauge is this?
16.
This is we're going to be building our armature with 16 gauge wire, and to wrap it and connect, I've got some smaller wire. I've got some other wire if we run out here, but we're going to be using that to tie all of our pieces together. But this is a very, very thick wire. This is this is galvanized wire. You can get it at Home Depot or Lowe's or your local hardware store. You're going to need aluminum foil, but with aluminum foil, what you're going to do whenever you do put your armature together, you're going to want to use pieces of the aluminum foil and crinkle them up and uncrinkle them, because whenever you use the aluminum foil and you use it just straight, the shiny, it tends not to stick. And so what you're going to do is you're going to wad this up and roll it back out. Don't flatten it out, just unroll it where it still has the crinkles. You're also going to need tape, just in case you need to tape pieces of the aluminum foil together. You can use either the large 2-inch, or you can use the 1-inch, the 18 millimeter by 50 millimeter tapes. You're also going to need, for the clay works, you're going to need clay tools that I have. You're going to be needing different types of clay if you plan on using different types of clay. As I said, I'm going to be using Oven Baked Original Sculpey. You can get this at Walmart for like $6 for a pound of this stuff. It's pretty cheap. I had gotten the air dry clay. He is conditioning it right now. You can't see him, but he's at the opposite end of the table. He does not want to be on camera, so therefore we have set the camera up to where he is not being shown. But you will see what he's doing. Also, to cut your wire, you're going to need some cutters and some needle nose pliers to bend your wire for the armature wire. I have different type of tools to get that done, so we are set on that. With the air dry clay, you're going to need some water to keep your clay moist, and so I prepared that for him. You're also going to want to protect your surface from the clay and whatever you're going to be using. I have put down wax paper and taped it down, so we have a surface that we can we can work with. So I'm going to be quiet for just a second. If you want to say anything.
Not really.
So we're going to wait for some people to come in, and I'm going to share this out in another group. So hang tight for just a minute. Okay. Hopefully we get enough little audience so we can talk. And feel free to ask questions if you have any. Oh, shucks.
It's not too thick, are they?
Separated, but no.
I can use that stuff, right?
No, that's too thick. That's the that's like the magazine stuff.
I use this stuff, right?
No, that's the shiny stuff. You need to like the newspaper stuff.
I didn't think this was going to work.
Okay.
The clay's just baked into this plastic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Probably,
go get some powder.
cornstarch. Use some cornstarch.
Go get, where is it at?
It's in the cabinet, I think, or it might be
I'm
up
trying to loosen this
on the
up.
thing. Yeah, like I said, I told you you're going to have to condition that because it's been sitting for a
I'm
minute.
trying to get it loosened up. But look, cornstarch on it's just going to make it dry out.
Yeah, don't want to dry it out. Dry it out and some suck.
Speaking of, some water. Boil water.
Play with it.
I've been spraying with that.
All right. So,
Hey, we'll get above water.
that's the reason why there's such a spray. It's not in the floor.
Got you sprayed it.
Yeah. Yeah, that clay's been sitting for a minute.
Yeah, like how long did you have you had it? About a year and a half?
No, it's not been that long. Not a year. It's only been opened once. You're not going to build your armature first?
Gotta build a basic framework on the clay to have something to stick the skeleton onto.
Oh, okay. All right. See, I don't have a really subject in mind. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build the base first, and I'm going to open this and see what I can do. I'm using a heavy duty aluminum foil. Alright, he's going to be sitting on some rock, so I'm going to try this. Never done this a day in my life, guys, so if you're watching and you see me kind of struggle, that's why. I've never done this a day in my life. Now, I've done things with strips of paper and aluminum foil. But this right here. Yeah, because you're going to be
making it hollow, or are you trying to make it?
No, he's going to use aluminum foil to base it out.
You got enough right now. You need to start making your glue up.
already
Well, you
done.
start soaking them.
No, what you can do is you paint it on. That's why the paintbrush, hence the paintbrush and thing.
I think you can cut me about a 8 or 9 inch piece of that.
Wire.
Yep.
The thick wire. Long enough.
A little bit more.
Let's see if this is. My little one's a bit better than this one. There we go.
Man.
Let me see if I can move this camera so you can see what everybody is doing. There we go. Alright. Now how to attach this is be the winner there. Now what you're going to want to do with the aluminum foil is you're going to want to tape it up, cover it with your tape to basically glue it together before you put put the clay on it, because if you just put it on there with just the clay and aluminum foil and you decide you wanted to move it around, it's going to pull up the little pieces of aluminum foil and it's going to get stuck to your clay. So we cover it with the tape in order to bind it together, and yeah. So this will be our base for when we do make our armature for our dragon.
I got a leg done, but I need some more clay.
You use however much you want to. I wasn't crazy about that stuff, so you use all you want to with it. I'm a Sculpey girl. Who all do we have in here? I see two
There's the tape right here.
ladies and gentlemen. Well, hi, Ashley. Good morning. Well, it's afternoon here, so good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good evening, good afternoon to some. How are you feeling today, darling? Hopefully this is going to be sturdy enough for the dragon to sit on. And look at this. If you need a bag or something, we have one in the kitchen, or you can use that bag. I don't know. You're gonna want to keep it from drying out. All right. So how does that base look like? Does it look like rocks where the dragon can sit on?
Okay.
Do you think I need to add one like right here in the front?
Sure, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need some tape right here.
Oh, the baby's moving up the storm. That's awesome.
That one.
I don't understand the dragon you're trying to make.
One that looks like he's sitting on the rocks that he's raising up.
And then I would add one to the back that way.
I mean, I need to know which way would be the front because I need to know how to make the arm.
I would make that the front, but I would add another one to the back.
Like a rock to the back.
We can tape right there.
Like flat, like that.
Yeah. I round it a little bit. And make
Well, the tape will round
Yeah.
it out.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'd round it a little bit better.
Like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Here, use this tape right here.
I'm holding it.
Well, have you ever seen it done before?
Yeah.
It works. How far along are you now, Ashley? I forget. You will move all this stuff out of the way. People can't see what you're doing. It's covered up by the strips of paper.
I know.
Working a little bit more clay.
What John's doing right now, he is conditioning the air dry clay that you can get at Hobby Lobby, but Hobby Lobby is closed right now for us. So luckily I had that in the craft room and decided to let John use it because I wasn't too crazy about it. But he's worked with stuff like that before, so I let him use it.
Yeah,
13 weeks and 3
this
days.
is
Wow.
a lot close to what you get if you use homemade clay.
Yeah, I've made homemade clay before, and it works.
Only thing is, that's dried out. That was probably the reason you didn't like it was probably because it was old when you got it. Because this
It's
almost back to being a rock.
Yeah, like I said, you're gonna have to condition that stuff. I find out what the baby is in 4 to 5 weeks. Oh, I'm excited. So, what are you thinking, boy or girl? I know you're hoping it's a girl, but what do you think? Just out of sheer luck. Or sheer hope, anyway.
Yeah. Crazy lady. All right, you think that's a good chest?
You're making it that big? You're making a big one?
Yeah. Damn. You're making a pinata. He's making a pinata.
All right.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming. You honestly hope it's a girl? Aw, me too. Girls are so much fun, but boys are too. Cooper's playing with one of your bottles, isn't he?
Cooper's doing anything we can to get attention.
He's the attention dog.
He's a furry child.
Yes, he's our fur babies. We love our fur babies, though.
I don't know about that long.
Alright, I have what is considered my base. Alright, there's my rocks. That look like rocks, you guys? I think it does, because by the time it's covered in clay, it'll look alright.
Just paint those.
No, I'm not going to paint them, because they're going to have to go in the end.
Oh, yeah. It's got to go in the oven. You're going to have to cover that tape.
Oh, yeah. That's why the sculpting. And I found that I have 4 of them. So, but this is going to take quite a bit of tape. So,
All right, I need some tape.
Well, if you'll notice, you see how much lighter that is?
oh yeah.
Over here.
That's what it's supposed to look like.
All right, I'm just waiting on him to teach me how to do the armature once he gets done.
Well, right now I'm just building out the basic skeleton on mine.
All right, let's see.
But if you'll, have you ever made sculpture or anything else?
I mean, I've made them out of aluminum foil and tape.
All right.
And paper.
Basically, you're trying to do the same thing with that. You still want to make rings for, like, your trunk. You still want to make rigid bone structure for your legs. You still want to make a spine. It's basically the same thing. The only difference with making a dragon is you're going to have to remember to leave a spot in the spine that you can loop the wing wire through.
Right.
With that, after you loop it through the first time, you just take and connect back to the spine with smaller pieces of wire to build up your musculature to where it don't look like a cardigan.
Alright, so from what I learned, you make what is called like an S form. Alright, so I'm not going to make it too big. Let's see.
You think that's too big?
Or what?
His head.
Yeah, that's a little bit too big, and it kind of looks like a snake instead of.
I know I'm gonna put another head right, little thing right here. I'm putting some horns on it.
Yeah, you could probably get away with that.
Will that be a big enough body, or is it?
How big are you wanting it
Right,
to be?
to cover it to where it sits like upright and its tail kind of wrapped around.
Okay, well then what you want to do with that is you don't want to go by that. You want to make an S curve. You've already got your scale made.
Yeah.
So you want to go with an S curve that fits this scale. See, if you have...
Let me pull the camera up just a stroke that way and see what you're doing, but you're not on camera.
Alright. Let's say you want it to look like that with its tail coming around these rocks, right?
Yeah.
Alright. And you want it to be reared up a little bit. So you take a little bit of a bend here. Bend this around till you get the shape of the tail, and then you would cut it right about there.
Right where you comes up?
Yep.
And for those of you who are just joined, this is 16 gauge galvanized wire. You can get it at your Lowe's or your Home Depot or your hardware store.
And the way she's doing hers is a lot different from how you'd use this clay.
He's using air dry clay.
This is bulk use clay. That's more of your sculpting modeling clay. With this, you build the body out of it, then you go back and remove the clay to build your detail. With that, you build the body out of something else and then wrap your details around it. You use a lot less of that than you do this. This is a full featured statuette. That's going to be a lot lighter than this.
So he's going to be sitting at a little bit of an angle there.
Yeah,
because you
like
want
that.
his back to show and his neck to show. And
Yeah.
then I want his head to kind of be reared up just a little bit.
That's the reason you bend this like this a little bit. And that down. You want him to show his back, but you want it like that. And then the very end of it, where you're going to build his head, you bend down to give him the flatter part and give him an actual neck. See?
Cool. All right, so how do we build the legs to where they are kind of sitting up?
You take your piece from here. See how far it's going to be.
Yeah.
All right. Take that, bend it over double, and then you bend it over double from right here.
Okay.
To back here. Then
So
you
basically
add,
the same size as this one?
yeah, but you add just a little bit to the end of it and clip it off. And then when you bend it back this way, it'll actually give you a little hook right there that'll fit onto here.
Okay, so we need to bend it about right here.
Hold up, let's hold it back up here again.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'll
What
work.
is that? Is that the
The
mouth?
head.
Oh, wow.
That'll work.
Nice. You need to make
So-
sure you move it to where it comes open.
Is this where you're gonna have it?
Well, I want his paw to be out like where he's crawling. on
Well,
the
but
top
we
of the
got
rock.
to get it attached to the rock first. You can do the detail stuff with the clay. This is just a basic skeleton.
Yeah, but I want the skeleton to be bent in the way that I want the legs.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. You have to position the wire where you want the leg to be. Figure out that. Bend it over from that point to double the wire. Add just a little bit, and then bend it back. It'll give you a hook into this that you can clip onto the wire where the leg goes.
And then we can use this wire to.
Yeah.
Okay, so
That's what you do.
right where your hand is, where your
Well-
finger was, like right here.
Wherever you want the leg to be. I mean,
It's your dinosaur.
yeah. You
Not
have to.
dinosaur's dragon.
I
All
get
right,
it.
so
You're a
let's
dragon.
go right here where you had your finger. So fold it over.
Yep. Fold it over. Add just a little bit to the end of it.
About half an inch.
Not even that. Probably about a quarter.
Okay.
And then clip it off right there. And see, even though this is dried out a little bit more, it's still.
Oh no.
Dang. Thank God you wasn't showing it my way. I'd have been messed up.
Hey. Not that kind of dirty word. That was a dirty bird. That was a dirty word, dirty bird.
I mean, messed up.
There you go.
That's what he
That's what I
said.
said.
I mean,
Effed up.
messed up. No, he said mess.
I have to go back and listen to it. All right, now we've got that.
See, normally with this, you'd have a wooden rolling pin.
Well, I have one, but it's for baking. It's my
Because-
it's the rolling pin my mother gave me.
Plastic and clay don't get along too well.
Well, that's not really what it was for. It's for fondant, but that's the only small rolling pin that I could find. So, well, it became a clay working tool. All right, so we've got that. Now that we have that,
All right. You clip it down on there and then attach it with your little
all
wire.
right, so we press it down. Right here.
I would
Is that where?
Get the needle nose and actually.
I don't have any on.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, all right, right here,
Clip it right up underneath that wire.
right here.
Yeah, you want it to crimp the legs up underneath there.
Uh,
No, you're going in it from the wrong way. Crimp it like that.
oh, up.
Yeah,
You didn't say
crimp
that.
the
Don't
wire.
shoot me.
What did you say?
He said, "Don't shoot me."
I'm not cutting it.
I don't know what you're talking about, baby.
Dangerous.
I'm darn you.
It went fast. It went a good 2 foot there, midair. Dangerous.
All right, I can't get that down any further. My My hand strength is not very good with this. Because this is 16 gauge wire, and 16 gauge wire is kind of hard when it's double over.
Well, again, you're not.
Well, I thought this. Maybe it'll work. Well, that worked. But it's just not up. There we go. Now, do I turn it around and then start wrapping, or wrap it with it up? Because those are its feet.
Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah.
Okay. So, you take the smaller gauge wire.
And just cinch it down on there to keep them in place. Again, the clay is really what's going to hold it together.
Yeah.
You're just giving something for the clay to hold on to.
Alright, where'd it go? This wire's sitting right here. Alright, so this is one of my heavier wires. But you can use floral wire. It's just I didn't have any floral wire.
I mean, you can technically use just heavy duty sewing thread like fishing line.
Yeah, I just don't have that on hand.
Yeah, like me. See, this right here is just not really the same. It's just it could be really big, huh?
Yours is going to be really big if that's the damn head.
Yep.
Look at the wings on it on the rest. I can start to shade it. I can shade it right now.
You really needed a solid body. You probably needed to ball up some aluminum and stuff inside because it's going to cave in if you don't. That I do know. You need a solid body to start when it comes to something like that.
Oh, I'm telling you, he was trying to make it down.
I didn't know in the hollow. Alright, got that. Use the pliers to push that down. Alright, so we've got our first set of legs. And I can push that in if I wanted to, but that's on there for the time being. And now for the legs, which need to be about what, right here?
No, I put the legs more up that way.
Like right here?
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to do the same exact thing except make the back legs a little bit longer.
No, I'd make the back legs about the same size as the front leg.
Okay. So we need to do this right here, kind of measure. Boom,
He's
boom.
gonna look like he's crawling if you got the front legs shorter.
Okay, so we need to cut that there.
Thank God.
I think that was the last of the piece of wire that we needed for that.
I can double this.
No, you need to separate that and tear it in half because too long of a piece is not going to stick.
No, I need another piece about that long, that heavy gauge wire.
Don't shoot me.
And I'll be back in just a second.
Oh, cleaning your hands?
Yeah. Somebody's clay on.
I think you said about that long, right?
Mm-hmm. I didn't even look.
If he wants to cut it, oh. There we go. Okay. So I can snap. Oh crap! I forgot where he said to put it. Right here. I've never made one of these before, so he's teaching me how to do this, and so this is a learning lesson for me. He offered to do this. I'd never done it before, and I was having a hard time figuring out how to do it. So, yeah. Hey, he's being a pain in the keister.
Okay.
What?
Right there.
I don't know if this is thick enough wire, right? Because this is one step down from what I was going to get.
Normally, like for clay, you'd use number 20 gauge. No.
The lower the number, the higher, the thinner it is. Or no, the lower the number, the thicker it is. The higher the number, the thinner the wire.
Yeah.
There you go. So, little lesson. So if you're planning on buying wire, remember this. The higher the number, the thinner the wire. The lower the number, the thicker the wire.
And normally for clay work, you want 20 gauge and above. You can use 16, 18 gauge. It's just you have to have a little bit more control over the detail work.
Yeah.
Let me see those snips.
These, just snip it and then kind of move it back and forth. That's how I was cooking. That is where I was wanting to put it. So, where is the little wire? I had some. Where did it go? Oh, there it is.
That gives me my front legs. And then this.
And this is all from you guys. You all voted on this. I put a poll in our group, and you all voted on a dragon. I had several different options. Maybe I'll keep that poll up, and maybe we'll do another one on the poll list on a later date once we finish up the dragons. And we're not going to finish all this in one setting. So be prepared to see a few other streams doing this.
Yeah. I don't know if you can stick.
If I can get it stable enough to stop moving, please. You have moved considerably amount. You need to be right there.
And if you'll notice, how you do the skeleton structure on these are a lot different. You'll notice mine, I'm actually using the heavy gauge wire as the actual skeleton. With hers, she's just making a basic outline. See the difference? Mine will have an actual like movable skeleton that's inside of it. Hers is just like that.
Yeah. I'm going to wrap this around once more, and then I'm going to clip it because the next whoa, I about put that wire right into my eyeball.
Yeah,
we would have had a really
glasses are normally a good idea.
we would have had a really bad accident. All right, so we've got the basic outline of this dragon. It's still moving, but once we put the clay on there, it's not going to move. And so we have it to where here's our base, and the dragon is going to be sitting on top of the rocks like this, with its tail kind of going around the rocks. So I'm very excited to see how this is going to turn out. I'm very, very excited. Never done something like this. I've always used the paper strips and the glue, aluminum foil and tape. So this is very, very new to me, and yeah. So that's what it's gonna hopefully do. Sit on the rocks like he's perching on the rocks, like that. All right. Now we got to make the skeleton for the wings, right? That's going to be a hard one because that I did make one for a bat, and I used coat hanger.
With the way you're making it, I would go ahead and start building the body before I try to attach the wings, because the wings are going to be a lot easier to attach when there's already some clay there to hold them while you're trying to connect them. A
tutorial that I did watch is that they suggested to go ahead and make the frame and attach them before you started putting clay on, because it's more of a less of a hassle to
try to figure out how long it's going to be.
No, to attach, to hold.
Well, see, I always just waited for the wings. If I was going to make one that's like these, I'm not going to make the wings that actually attach to it for the last part.
So how are you going to attach them?
Because I attach...
No. How are you going to attach them?
Oh, I'm going to attach them to here, but I'm going to wait until after there's some clay on it. That way, when I attach it, the clay will hold it in place while I add more to it to increase the structure. See what I'm saying? See,
I'm gonna go ahead.
Normally when people make something like a dragon or a bat or something like that, the first place that always breaks, or that breaks when you go to dry it,
point to where the wings attach.
Exactly. That's why anytime I go to make something like that, I always add extra of whatever structure I'm using while I put clay on it. That way it holds it together better. See what I'm saying?
I think I'm going to go ahead and make the frame for the wings and go ahead and attach them. That way I can have my full frame. And I think I know how I'm going to do it. I'm going to use this piece as a base and make 2 of those with the same size. Okay, I'm going to move that out of the way because I need space. Because I believe this is how I did it for my bat for Halloween. So I've got 2 of the same.
That's dangerous right there.
I held it this time. All right, so got 2 of the same size. I left a little bit of room to where it could attach. Yeah, that way it could attach right here at the top here. But yeah. Okay, now I need 2 pieces that I'm going to cut and then fold over to make the wings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, just need to kind of measure how far apart I want the veins of the wings to go. Usually the center piece is the longer piece, right? Of the wing? I can't remember.
No.
Is it the top?
The front edge will be the longest part.
So this one needs to be shorter.
It goes very short, about maybe a 1/4 inch out past that. Then it goes back to short, and then it goes to about a 1/2 inch past the second one.
Okay, so right here.
Yeah,
and then a little bit longer.
No, you'll need.
Hey, little C.
you'll need one just a little bit longer than this. Like
So
halfway
about right
between
here.
this and this.
So about right here.
No. You need one about that long.
Okay, hang on. I'll need to cut 2 of these. So give me a second. Because I got to attach all 3 of these together to one.
Well, I'm just starting to make the arms.
All right, break, please. Thank you.
And really working with this isn't hard. Just the same thing everybody learned in school. Just play with the clay till you make a shape.
There's your favorite. Carrie's in here. She's like, "How you? Hey, James Lee, how you doing?
How you doing? Doing fine.
Do your signature. She loves to hear you say that.
Come on.
Come on, she loves to hear you say that. Come on, do it.
Which one is it?
Do it.
How you doing, girlfriend? Hey.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Sorry, Harry had to coax him. He couldn't remember.
I'm tired.
No, you're not.
I'm done.
Stop it. Stop it.
I'm at my bottle.
Craziness. Alright, I'm gonna put that right here.
It's no fun at all.
All right.
All right, now where did you say that this needed to be?
About. Alright, you see the distance between these two?
Mm-hmm.
You want one in between there. You want one more this size.
No, I'm gonna make this 3 things. I'm just gonna make 3 things.
Oh, 3? Well, yeah, I go one in between those two.
Like right here?
No,
Or, or about right here.
back a little bit more. Right about there.
Alright. Well, let me make 2 of those.
Got it. I got it.
It flew. It grew wings. Pun intended.
You'll end up stabbing somebody.
I know, right?
She's
I
gonna
don't
get
hold
him.
it. I'm gonna get him, guys. I'm gonna
Dang
get
it for me. Let's get closer and closer.
If you don't stop, we're going to stop the stream.
Love you guys. All right.
One thing to make some stuff, it's nothing to be shot at.
I said I was sorry. Sorry.
Feel like I'm some kind of shooting at him and stuff.
I'm telling you, we didn't get the benefit.
All right. So if you're just joining us, we are making 3 different types of dragons and 3 different types of ways. I am going to be using the Sculpey, original Sculpey oven baked. Where's the camera? The original Sculpey oven baked clay. Our friend here, John, is using air dry clay. And James Lee, he is using aluminum foil. And what did you draw? He is using aluminum foil and Mod Podge and paper strips and tape to make his. Now his is going to have time to dry. So once he gets that first layer on, he'll let it sit for a little bit and then he'll start adding more. So 3 different types of dragons and 3 different types of ways. All right, so now.
Do you have like an X-Acto knife in here?
Yes, but there's a knife included in one of these. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's.
Again, I'm trying to cut off a big old hunk of this clay.
Yeah. You'll probably have to get a knife. You're not using my X-Acto knife. I use that knife.
Go get a knife.
All right. Now I got to figure out how to attach these together. So I'm going to use more. I'm going to start rounding these around. Right. Now. Alright, so we've made the first set. Ain't that cool?
Maybe. Oh, that's fine.
I think that was the extra. I don't know. I don't know. Well, one's going to be in the back, so you really won't notice the length difference. Yeah, because that piece was about the same. Anybody have any questions as to what we're doing?
That was awesome.
Yours is going to be huge.
Oh yeah, huge. It's going to be a hugeosaurus.
Mine's going to be a little bit bigger than yours.
Mine.
No, hers. Yours is going to be the biggest because that's just the head. Still got his feet, the rest of his body, his tail. It's going to be the size of a table.
Right.
Halloween. Halloween.
Yeah, probably be a Halloween prop.
Possible.
Well, I'm just working more clay.
This right here is going to be like a 3-month project.
Possibly. Because you're going to need a bunch of layers because that tape, that is not laying down.
You'll need smaller strips too.
Yeah.
One that's soaking.
You need the thinner strips. You're using the thicker, aren't you? You need the thin, like this stuff right here.
Like that?
These thin, like
this
stuff. Yes, like that stuff. You're using like the sales papers that are just a bit thicker. All right, so we've got the wings. Now to figure out how to attach them to the body.
Now, what you're going to want to do, since you bundled them together like that, is take a piece of that small wire you have, run it through the middle of that coil.
Put that on there pretty tight.
The tighter it, you want it where you got to put some force to get it through there because you don't want to
poke
come out.
myself. Yeah, it's bending. Yeah, I put that in there pretty tight. Made sure it wasn't going nowhere. I should have put the thing in there before.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just have to leap it above it and just get it in there a bit as best as I can.
Yeah, just get it in there as good and secure as you can get it. Because you're going to use that to attach it to the back.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to loop it around and then straighten it out. Yeah, I'm just going to have to loop it around. I've only got that much wire to play with, so I got to get it right the first time.
All right. Wrap it around where you want it because you don't want it by his shoulders. You want it about here. So wrap it around right there. This is why I was saying clay would make it a little bit easier because you could have some clay to stick this into. See what I was saying?
Yeah, but
Now,
Yeah, they won't do
you
that
have to
way.
leave enough to where you can attach that to the other end of this wire.
what?
Yeah, you attach the other wing to the end of that wire.
Into this wire?
Yeah.
I don't have enough to do that. I'll have to have an attachment.
All right. So that's how much I got done. Yeah. It don't look like that much.
James is just making a giant pinata.
I make fun of my dragon here.
Hmm.
Hey, Joy.
It'd be awesome.
All right, so I could probably use a piece of the thicker wire and make like an attachment right there. Just make sure it loops across, and then connect it to that. Or do you think I just do to
I'd attach it with the thinner
like right
wire.
here?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the reason I was saying to use the other end of that other wire was that way it doesn't bunch up like that.
Well, it's gonna have clay over top of it to cover all that up anyhow. So I'm gonna do it this way. I'll just attach it the best way I can.
Well,
Oh, right up underneath the fingernails, what I did.
let's see.
That hurt.
And then I've got this attached on there.
I'm taking a break.
And I'm going to here in a minute.
They're gonna leave me.
Cooper wants to see what we're doing. See what we're doing, Cooper?
Now, when you get done with that, I need you to cut me some more wire.
Okay, give me a second.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely going. I'm gonna get shot in the face.
Oh, come on, James. You don't like sitting in the danger zone?
He's in the fire line.
Where's the lid? Oh, there it is.
It's really all I got.
Oh, who all is with me today? Mr. James Lee is here with us, and we have one of our friends, John. He is teaching us how to build a dragon. I don't know. All right, so got that. Now let's try this again, Emily. See if you can get her done. Get her did, get her done.
You'll have some bulky shoulders.
Yeah. But it'll be hidden.
No,
I mean, it's my very first time doing this, so you got to give me credit.
My first time.
I'll give you an A for effort.
Who, my hand puppet?
No, I'm talking about her.
Oh, come on.
You get an E for enormous.
Yeah. G for ginormous. All right, so I think I've got them attached.
God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here.
Alright, well, I'll be back in a minute.
All right, pull it out to the length that you need cut.
Where's my phone?
That should be good. Alright.
James and John Lee. He's considered a brother, so yeah, you can talk to me today. So All right, so yeah, those are going to be some bulky shoulders, but it's going to be some really cool wings when I get done. So we're just waiting until they come back.
Hey, Emily,
Yeah.
you gonna help him for a minute? Do me a favor. Condition that block of clay I cut off right there,
You're going to have to make me go wash my hands.
please.
What block of clay? This? That?
Over here.
That?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, you're going to make me have to get up and wash my hands when I start working with the other stuff. So. Yeah, all the J's are here. Yep. So, this is the armature for my dragon so far. Here are the wings. Like that. Here's the body. Well, it's going to spin around. When I start bulking it out with the aluminum foil, it should stabilize. But yeah. Where's the head? All right, there you go. All right, this is the front of the body. This is the head part here. This is the back, and here are the wings that we have made for the dragon, and the continuing of the back past the shoulders, and then the back legs here, and then the tail is right here.
Did you do
Dave, no, not right now. Not right now. I don't know what that is.
It's
Really?
to my phone, to my board. Got the information.
Which one? One I made last night or no?
One we made last night. Okay.
Hang on a minute, guys.
No, it won't start. You have to all that stuff in here. Do that. Hey, Ty.
Babe. Baby.
What?
I love how I'm hollering at him, but he don't answer. Sweetheart.
Yeah.
You know you can log in with your Facebook.
Okay. Log in with Facebook.
And that one is under the other one. You had to ask me. Hang on a minute, guys. Yeah, no. I don't know which one yours is. You're
James Lee.
I don't remember the thing. I don't remember the thing. Hang on. I only know one other way to find out what your thing is. Okay. glad I did that because that would have been. There you go. All right, 2 things. What I need to do is to cut here. All right, he's got that. And now I've got to sit here and condition clay. Going up there. Oh. Hey, Ray. Yeah, we've also got John in here today. I have got to sit here while they are messing with something. Got the armature made. It's just I'm gonna have to start bulking it out as soon as they get in here, but they're not in here at the moment, so I've got to start working on his clay. Got to take my rings off, which sucks. I don't want to. This clay will get all over. Out. My hands will be so sore by the time I get done working with his clay. Hey, Dad. Who's Dad? Oh. Oh. Well, I really want to start working on mine, but I'm stuck working on his clay. I'm gonna have to go wash my hands when I start bulking mine out. I just hope it don't dry out on me and I have to get all nasty with this. Did they go outside? I don't know what they're doing. Oh, table's a mess. I need to clear it up. Oh.
Should be on.
My hands are gonna get sore. Y'all need to. Oh, that stain. Hey, you pulled a me. Every time I work with ink and stains, my hands are stained for days. My hands are indeed in very, very badly need of another manicure. You see all that? The paint's chipped off. That means you had fun. I just can't find any alcohol or anything, but I do have. If you go to Walmart, they've got their egg dyeing things for sale, with like 50 and 75% off. I had gotten some a while back whenever people were giving them away, so I picked up about 5 packs of them, and I've got the little dye pellets, and I'm going to try and make some water ink because I can't find any alcohol. And so I'm going to use those and maybe re-up on my inks because since Hobby Lobby's closed, I can't get nothing from there. I was not a happy camper when I found out it had closed out here because I hadn't been down there in a little bit since I picked up the journal paper for the little lumberjack. And I asked a lady while I was at Walmart the other day trying to find a rotary cutter. If it was closed, she said it was closed, and I stomped. I pitched a fit. I said, "Daggone it." My hands, oh my Lord, look at that. My hands are like red from this. Luckily, my clay don't have to take that. It's good clay to, I mean, it molds pretty good, but oh, just to condition it. My word. Okay. I can't get nothing right now. I have no way to do it. I don't have any sprays that dark. All right, he's gonna have to get back in here because my hands are sore already from working this clay. That's cool. You hear Cooper whining because James Lee went outside. John. My room is complete turned upside down. I got this table in the center of the room and everything's kind of stacked up around it. Some kind of catty corner in the room. Yeah, you can hear him. Don't want him up here. Don't doggy's hairs up here. He's a friend of James Lee's, one of his childhood friends. He better not abandon me. Ugh. I'll probably end up having to finish James Lee's because he's too thick of a paper. I'm doing all the grunt work. I'm supposed to be learning, not sitting here conditioning this clay. Much better if you've got smaller pieces and it heats up from the heat of your hands. This big old piece. Ugh. Oh. Oh, tearing my wax paper. Oh, Lord. needs to come in here and work with this. But it's gonna dry if you don't. I need to put the bag back on this. I don't know how this works. There we go. And he's gonna make me mess something up. That's about enough conditioning. I'm done conditioning. My hands hurt. Newspaper pieces out of the way. There we go. Start bulking out my again. Okay, he was supposed to sit like this, so his tail was over here. And his wings need to be twisted right there. There we go. Now, bulking out. And wire it up. And we're going to unwire it. Unwire. Hopefully I got enough. I need another roll in the cabinet there, but that's my baking one. They went outside. They're chitter chatting for a minute. Gotta talk. I'll be right back. That does annoy me. I'll be right back. No. Wasn't paying attention to that one. I had to go chase them down outside. They were outside. Oh. Hi, Janie. Sorry, I didn't see you come in. Had to go chase down James Lee. Started to hurt my hands. And there's your wire. It kind of fell on the floor.
Where?
Out there. I know you heard it. I know you heard it. Yeah, it started to hurt my hands. I could not do it anymore. Oh, yeah. Alright, so I'm going to start bulking this gentle giant out. I moved his stuff out of the way. And here's a smaller piece if you need it.
No.
Huh?
You could. Thank you.
Get these out of the way. Whoa. My aluminum foil hit something. Alright, so I put the clay back in the package because that'll dry out even more. Alright, so you want to kind of frame this face out. After I get done foiling this, every part of this is going to get covered with tape. I think this got turned upside down again. There we go. I probably have to do some work on the wings, but once I get the clay on there, it'll kind of stop moving, I guess.
See, right now I'm just kind of making the shape of my wing.
Nothing done that?
Camera.
Miss Janie's in the chat.
Hey. How you doing?
All right, where's the beginning of this tape?
Is right where they put it.
The opposite of the end.
We have a comedian in here.
Cooper. Good job. Good job.
Okay, squeeze.
Are you trying to cut it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so.
Trying to get it just like that.
Can the dog eat these?
What are those? Oh, you're eating kiwi. I don't know. Can dogs eat kiwi, guys?
He's eating it.
We'll know in a minute.
Never mind. He did it twice and set it down. Good for it.
What the heck?
Looks like you're scared of it. Yeah, like color green.
I don't think he can see the color green, eh?
He loves the color red. What's his favorite color? We found that out that his favorite color is red. He goes after red more than anything.
Like a bowl.
Stay out of my hair.
More. Oh. You really want a double bulldog in them there.
Well, he has min pin in him.
But yeah, I'm just, like I said, poking out the basic structure of this guy.
The wings got moved. They're shifting, and once I get this aluminum foil on in the right spot, it'll
Now
hold
you
it.
see why I was telling you.
Look.
Look.
See, this is heavy duty. This is the reason why I got the heavy duty. See, it'll hold that right there on the top. Once I get it on. This is gonna look funky. We have to make it to where it sits like this.
I know. I'm waiting till it dries, man. You think I can still put some more on it? What'd you do on my paper?
Right there.
Blessed they'll be.
What's it gonna be?
Why did you do that? I try to get the little stuff like you said, and you cover it up again. Like, bless your heart.
Oh, don't you
Little
say
angel.
that. You know what bless your heart means.
Little angel. Little angel. All right. Got them ripping up little big pieces. Smaller than what they appear to be right now. Too tiny. What's that noise?
Me pushing down on this end of the table.
Nope. I thought it was too for a minute, but clearly it was not.
That paper and clay don't mix.
Paper and clay. Well, sometimes you put sawdust in it, maybe.
Not dry clay. Then I dry it out even more.
I don't know. Ah,
So hello to everyone who is joining us.
who's there today?
We are making 3 different types of dragons in 3 different type of ways. John
Mine's
is
cooler.
using air dry clay. It's the big sculpture that you see here. That is our friend John. James Lee is using aluminum foil, tape, and paper strips and Mod Podge. I am using an armature, a built-in armature, and I'm going to be using Super Sculpey oven baked clay to build my dragon.
Yeah. That'd be right.
See how dry that is? What?
Serious.
That's the reason why you have to keep the water.
Keep the. He told you need a bowl.
Yeah.
Well, go get him a bowl.
Go get a bowl, John.
I don't have one in here. I don't keep that kind of thing in here.
Well, everywhere should have cereal bowl. Cereal.
Are you serious? You need a cereal bowl? Is it a cereal bowl?
Cereal color. Cereal
Oh,
killer.
that came out. That's fine. Oh, no. That's not good. Because they're not attached now. They've come loose in there. All that wiggling and wobbling, it has made them come loose.
Oh man.
But I'm going to.
Dance in the wind. The White House is now on.
I know. I've got the message too.
President.
Ah, mother of mercy. My wings fell out.
Mercy.
I have to find a way to get them back in there without them falling out
Good luck.
and poking out through the other side.
I don't know, baby.
I don't either.
John, you know.
You know what?
The wings, look, they're loose as a goosey's butt.
Uh-huh. No. Yeah.
Okay. I'm about to grab my hot glue gun and hot glue the suckers in there.
Well, my
Cover it up with clay, so I mean you can.
Yeah, the only thing is that you're going to be putting it in the oven, so you really.
Well, again, after the clay's already on there, it's not going to move as much either, like I keep telling you.
So should I do that in order to stabilize those wings?
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think?
What I kept trying to tell you was you needed to start putting clay on the body before you put the wings on it. That's the reason I did that.
I gotta pull her up. It won't take 5 minutes.
So my hair's turning out pretty good, huh?
Yes. Need to give you some indentions for eyes.
Let's see, where can I plug this up?
Again, right now it looks more like a snakehead than it does a dragon. Lizards have eyebrows, man.
I can make eyebrows. Person couldn't cover the whole head up.
Alright.
You know what I mean?
Wait for that to start heating up.
I'll I do.
Until then, I can go ahead
Usually
and
just
still work
terrible
on the
pieces.
other part of the body.
I'm just slowly adding water to this.
The hardest point is grinding it out, huh?
No, apparently to grind it out was pretty easy. Kind of did that all by itself.
Yeah, come on.
Why do I keep picking up tape? I'm guessing my brain is saying, hey, dummy, put it together. Really don't know how a dragon's body is supposed to look. I know its belly is supposed to be just a scotch bigger than. Yeah, what happened to. There's it.
Well, I mean, are you going for fantasy type dragon, realistic dragon? With
Kind of
lizard
like a
dragon?
realistic.
I thought all of them mythical. I don't know.
No, there's a
I'm running that wall now.
There is like
There are Draco.
Comet.
There are Draco class dinosaurs, which are dragon dinosaurs. They look exactly like the myth dinosaurs, down to the spikes.
Okay, now. I'm going.
okay.
I'm going.
Yeah, I still think that's weird.
Alright. I'm letting it dry. It's too wet.
I really can't give you my heat guns. I can't really plug it up right now. Now, they had a reared up kind of a back for like scales and stuff, right?
Yeah, scales. All the way up
Can
the
you?
back. You don't know what dragons look like?
Sweetheart.
Some of them
Get some
can't.
thumbtack. Not thumbtack. Twist some things, put them in there, make little spikes out of them. How big you gonna make them?
I'm not making the socks right now, honey. I'm
Okay.
bulking out the back end of the tail starting into the thinner part of the
Okay.
tail. Well,
But see how much better that clay looks now?
oh yeah. Oh yeah. So, once that glue heats up, what I'll do is I'll squirt some glue down in there, and then I'll cover that up. And then once the clay goes on, it will stay in place and hopefully not come loose. I have some basically liquid glue. Liquid polyclay. For whenever I start putting this on and it doesn't want to attach, I have that. So I can use that to kind of brush over top of the sculpture to smooth out any imprints, finger imprints. And I think you can use what, alcohol? Anybody ever work with polymer clay? Do you use alcohol?
I think polymer you use acetone.
I don't have acetone. All I have is finger parchment. This is, what is it?
Chicken bed? Oh,
Um, I don't know. Sculpey clay, polymer clay, polyform productions.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon.
I don't know.
Let me tell you something. I don't know either.
Okay. Nice to know.
I know what this looks like.
Put that down. Really?
So don't be
Sorry.
trying to storm a dinosaur now.
Why are you calling it a dinosaur? You building a
Like you said,
dinosaur?
Dinosaur look like a dragon. Nope. So then you can make that piece of candy. I think there's part you owe.
Possibly. If I'd have thought about it, we could have got the pizza crust.
There's not more one. It's awesome. This cough drop is really freaking awesome. Give it.
Yeah. It wasn't even a full cough drop. Like, couldn't have.
I'm good.
Right now,
We
I
both
just
do it
need-
there right now.
one more for the base of the tail. I need 2 sheets to where I can sculpt the wings, and I'll need a headpiece.
I guess mine are only sculpted just a little bit different than yours.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of cool, huh? Emily's doing more of a pen.
Hmm? I don't have a lot of product to work with, so I gotta have a filler somewhere.
I think these tangerines and what's some big orange red things?
Grapefruit.
Yeah, grapefruit.
That's good.
Okay, show cam for a minute.
Am I going to do that?
See what don't fall out. What happened? What happened? All right, John. You're back to school.
Advanced mechanics.
Mm.
Yeah, I've done that.
I got some crazy stuff up in here though.
We call it calculus these days instead of advanced mechanics.
Yeah, I'm not a calculus girl. I think I got to algebra 2 and I stopped.
I did calculus, geometry.
What's the answer to
analytics.
that?
I don't know. What do you say? In the function, if f1 is called logarithm of a base a and is desired by the symbol log, thus the inverse function thus follows that. Yeah, there's your answer.
Hey, JD. Welcome, welcome.
Got some black ribbon.
Put it down. Those are my ribbon bags. Those are the ones.
What's that? Is that the wing?
No, you're just wetting down some more clay. This is probably gonna be both the wings and part of the head.
You probably thin it out.
No, Frank, how crazy.
Howdy, howdy. I'm gonna see if my, oh yeah, that's definitely better. Fill the hole full of glue. I'm cheating. I so chewed that cough drop.
Was it good?
It's really good.
It's like candy on it.
Tastes like those, you know, those barrel candies. You got a whole bag of them, like the cherry and the root beer
Yeah.
and things like that. That's what they're like.
Yep.
That should hold. That worked. Hot diggity dang. All right, I'm gonna shoot this thing full of some glue too. Maybe it'll hold the pieces together until I get the stuff on. I had just enough glue in the hot glue gun to do that. Ha ha ha. Maybe it'll stay in the form. Now that's gonna look nice. Now that I've got the glue in there and the wings are stuck on. There, look at that. That's gonna look nice. The wings are gonna probably have to be clipped a little bit because, well, maybe not. Need to bulk up his spot right there where the neck comes up and away from the legs. Now, if this comes out the way I want it, it will be for sale. If it not, it'll sit on my shelf. It's the first time I've ever made a full sculpture with a, yes, my dragon is going to be on rocks. This is going to be covered in clay. These are aluminum foil covered with tape. And I'm going to have clay covering this. So yes, it is on rocks. So it'll sit like that. If I can, when I start sculpting on it, this is just the armature. I can get it in camera. So yeah, it'll sit right here. Like that. That should look pretty dang good. Well, his foot's kind of going, hey! I'll have to put his foot down, but there you go. He's gonna be climbing. Just gotta get him just right.
You got clay on it yet?
No, I'm bulking it out right now. I'm building the neck piece.
You can make yours out of this paper sheet too. Then you're making it out.
No, this is gonna be a clay.
Okay.
I can make just about anything that you can put your heart to. All I have is a reference picture, but I went and studied what I wanted to have done. And so this is in my head. There's no picture to go to find this. It's up in the noggin.
Mine's just the same as some that I've made for school.
You took sculpting in school?
Oh yeah, and too.
We used baked clay, and we had to. Oh no, he better not be. Not in the house. Not in the house.
Well, it's really bumpy until I get on the road.
Babe, no,
I might go on the road later on.
babe, please. All right, gotta get underneath. Oh, I can't wait to start playing with the clay. Hardest part's gonna be figuring out how to do the wings, how to get the clay on the wings without it drooping or breaking. Never done that. You're gonna need some stability there. I think your wings might be a little too thick.
Well, if I make them any thinner than that, as hard as this clay is, it's breaking.
That's the reason why I don't use it. That's why I said use it to your heart's content. I don't use it. Is he doing what I asked him not to do?
And it's James. Do I need to answer that question?
No.
You know what that was, right?
What?
It's called a sanity test.
It's what?
It's called a sanity test.
Yeah.
I don't need one of those.
When talking about you, I gave her one. I don't need to give you a sanity test. I know you're insane.
We are all insane at one point in our lives. And in some point.
Yeah,
Hey, you know, we ain't all insane all the time.
it's a
I
lot
don't know.
longer for some than others.
Oh, that's a good question, babe. How do you know that we are all sane? What if we are insane and the ones who think that are insane are the sanest ones? You ever thought about that?
Because I don't trust the judgment of someone who eats crickets.
What?
Just my own personal philosophy here, but if you do something completely weird, I don't trust your judgment.
I mean, crickets are healthy, I think. The protein, right?
So are ants. That don't make them a good idea.
Well, if it's the only thing that you have to survive, would you do it?
No.
You would not eat ants just to survive for the protein?
Never been, have I ever been that hungry. Now remember who you're talking to.
Sure.
So, no. I can honestly say I wouldn't.
This is the ugly duckling stage, I think. Every piece has an ugly duckling stage. This is just the frame to frame it out. I have some ideas for the other poll options that I had put up. So make sure you guys go and vote, and maybe the next one that we do will be one from the poll. Yeah, Raven's in here. Her little bell just went off. Oh, you're spoiling her. That's not fair. We were supposed to rip that up and give it to all the kittens. I guess they can get the carcass. He's about ready. This does not sound too good. Oh, not yet with the droplets.
I'm trying to get all these clumps out of this clay.
Yep, you're right. I think it may have been old clay because when I started working with it, it just dropped in my hands like super fast, and here's why I was turned off by it.
What?
Remember when we worked with that? It dried in our hands as fast as.
She was the same. Oh, sorry.
Watch your mouth, baby, please.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
And I thought I was going to be the one to do it.
He's the one that's got the potty mouth today.
I figured it'd be me.
Huh? I mean, you've only done it once in a while.
Yeah. Sorry, Dad was a drill sergeant in the Army. I don't have a language filter.
My daddy was a very, very high person in the Air Force. So I learned very, very expressional phrases from my dad. So if you said it, I probably heard it. Your package went out and it should be there Thursday. Oh, hey Tina, thank you so much, darling. I really do appreciate it. I was grinning ear to ears. I went back to Walmart today and looked in the sewing notions again. Nothing. Nothing. And they had just gotten a truck in that morning and nothing was out. I was disappointed. Very, very disappointed. All right. Now, I gotta wrap the tail. And then I can start on the clay, couldn't I? Because I got the basic body.
We didn't have to wrap all the aluminum foil.
I just don't have a lot of clay to play with, and so this is sort of like a bulking agent. When you're working with clay and you don't have a lot of it, it's a bulking agent. And plus the tape helps the clay stick to it. Oh, you were so cool, Tina. Thank you so much. Oh, that'll help me out quite a bit. Thank you. You're such a sweetheart. And I appreciate that. Beyond words. I'm just hoping that hot glue doesn't cut loose. But as you said, the clay should be able to hold it in once it's on there.
Yeah, actually, that's what this piece of clay is about to do.
What?
This back piece.
So you're gonna put detail on it, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
No, this is just the main like structure. You still gotta add the detail for the wings, add the detail for the feet, claws, tail, chest, head.
Did you fix you some ramen?
Yeah. With extra,
Hmm.
sauce season.
Oh yeah, the big stuff.
Matter of fact, I'm probably not even gonna do the head today. Probably gonna finish that tail. Let this dry.
Yeah, because we're right at 2 hours. So thinking after you do that and I finish putting this tape on, we'll stop there. And then for the next one, if you want to start the next one tomorrow.
I gotta start put his face on. Do his face tomorrow.
Yeah, you'll have to do another coating. That one coat's not
I
gonna.
know.
So
He
Yeah.
can do that later tonight because that glue will be dry in a couple hours.
I don't know. He put it on kind of thick. And I'll help him put the next
It'll dry
coating
next
on.
time.
I'll help him put the next coating on. That way he can start working on it. Elderly neighbor moved in with her daughter, and they cleaned out their house. And I always went there and rummaged when they had rummages when they had them. They put everything craft and sewing aside for me and gave it to me, so I had extra stuff. So I passed it on. Well, thank you, Tina. That just pleases my heart. That just makes me beam even bigger. I'll be waiting on it. That'll help me with making James Lee's masks. I'm trying to think of a different way to make his masks. I know I did a simple one, but I want to come up with a different way to make one. That way, it's easier for me to make. I know that pattern was simple. I am actually making a dragon. John, the one that's standing right here off camera, he taught me how to make an armature. And what I did was I bolted out with aluminum foil hoist. First, just balled it up and unballed it. And I made the armature of the dragon. It's going to be like a very, I don't know, I'll have to look. It's in my head. I don't know exactly what it's going to look like, but it's in my head. This is the dragon. And so the dragon is going to be sitting upon rocks. This is going to get a layer of clay on top. And this dragon is going to sit on these rocks like this, like he's perching on the rocks, looking down like that. But we are almost done with today's lesson because he's probably not going to sculpt the head, but maybe tomorrow we'll do another live stream and we'll continue on with the next portion of this. And I can't wait to start with the clay. I'll just leave everything where it's at in my room. And we'll continue on hopefully tomorrow.
Hers should be clayed a lot faster than mine will.
Oh yeah, I'm going to be using original Sculpey oven baked clay. Now, John, he is using air dry clay, which would probably is going to take quite a bit of time to dry since it's so thick. But if he keeps it under a plastic bag, like a trash bag, put it in there to protect it, to keep it moist, and just spray it down before he puts it in there, should keep it moist for him to be able to work and sculpt tomorrow. That's what I have learned. And we'll have this table cleaned up just a little bit from all the scraps and stuff, because, yeah. James Lee's dinosaur head, or dragon head, half of his body is right here. And he has put the first layer of paper strips and glue on there first. Like I said, we're making 3 very, very different types of dragons. James Lee is making the paper mache, basically, where he's using strips of paper and Mod Podge. John here, he is using air dry clay, and I am using the original Sculpey oven baked clay. So 3 different dragons, 3 different types of clays and processes. So yeah, I am done right now. I'm going to work on the rest of this tomorrow and get a general idea on how to do these wings because I don't know.
And really, all I'm doing is mixing up another batch of clay to go on the tail, but it's the same as I've been doing the whole stream.
So yeah, I'm excited. It's the very first one I've ever made like this, and if it turns out, ladies and gentlemen, it will be for sale in whenever my next auction or sale will be, or it will sell independently. I will put it on my Creative Jewels by Emily business site. That way you guys can check it out, and it will be for sale if it turns out the right way, the way I want it. And if it turns out the way I want it, I'll make another one by order only. So if you have any orders that you would like, I can make anything from paper, paper and tape and aluminum foil. I can make just about anything. So if y'all have any requests, make sure that you put it in the comments below. If you are watching the replay of this, make sure that you leave me a kind comment down below and give me some ideas on what you guys would like to see. Oh, I've seen it. I didn't see it, but I see your message. I'm going to take a look at it as soon as we come offline. Make sure that you send me a comment. What do you want to see sculpted or done with the paper mache? Let me know, because I'm interested in doing some more of this, because it is a lot of fun. Lots of fun. Lots of fun. I can't get my camera any closer, so yeah. There we go. There's his.
What's Grizzly?
I don't know. He's under my table.
Again, don't look like much right now, but just basic structure where it can stand up. Finishing work and detail work can be done after that dries a little bit more stable.
Are you making it look like a rock? Rock
No.
scaling? You might want to. I was gonna say, we put that up. And
No.
Are you still doing?
no, we're about to finish up for today. We'll continue on tomorrow, right probably about the same time, about 3 o'clock tomorrow.
Yeah, yours
Maybe.
looks a little different now.
It does. It looks cool, don't it? Kind of like the head, like the lizard
Kind of
head.
looks like the movie, the Never Ending Story.
Oh, Falcor. Yeah, it sort of looks like Falcor, don't it? Yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
yeah.
Yeah, she's going more traditional Eastern dragon.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's more like a Chinese or an Asian dragon.
Oh, okay.
I'm making the big old European type of dragon.
The big old chunk of dunk.
I made an arm puppet.
Oh,
No, you made a pinata.
It's gonna be big.
Oh, is it going to be an arm puppet? It's
Yeah,
not going to be able to move.
I could get
Well,
balloon.
once you
I get
get it.
balloon, blow it up,
And
and then
no.
put that for the belly, and then put the wings on the back side, and have the little feet hanging out, just 2 feet hanging out the bottom side.
No, but blowing the balloon up would be a good idea for the body.
Yeah.
I got the balloons right here, I think.
Just blow a balloon up and surround it with that.
Yeah,
Here. Here. Here's your balloon. It's a purple one. It's a purple balloon. You know, I keep them in here when we do the paper machine.
You want me to do it right now?
You have to keep its form, yeah.
You guys find some of this paper and carry it for me.
We'll work
Here.
on that a little bit. Like, you've got plenty of that paper mixed in with all that. Seriously. Alrighty, guys. I am going to call it for today. I thank each and every one of you that came out to see me. Please make sure to stay tuned for the next round of how to build a dragon.
Negative. That was a very bad balloon.
Oh, did it pop?
Yeah.
Well, that's fine. I've got another So anyway, make sure that you stay tuned for round 2 of how to build your own dragon. If you want to play along, just look back in the in this stream and get your supplies ready. You can use just about anything to build your dragon. As you've seen, we use 3 different ways to do this, and so if you can dream it, you can build it. Alrighty, guys, I love each and every one of you. Hopefully, we inspired you to get out there and create your own artwork, and please share your artwork. If you would like to head over to Facebook and join our group, you're more than welcome to do that. Go and find Creative Jewels by Emily on Facebook. Send a request and we'll get you in as soon as possible. Also, remember, if you enjoyed today's stream, please remember to hit those thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below. Alrighty, guys. I love you all. Thank you. God bless each and every one of you. And I will see you guys either on the next video or stream. Bye, guys.
Yeah.
Bye.